Welcome to the channel, tennis fans and sports enthusiasts from around the globe. You clicked on this video because you saw the title, and let me tell you, it is absolutely not an exaggeration. The whole world is watching, and the first day fight at the 2026 Italian Open is officially too hot to handle. We are coming to you with a massive, exclusive live update on a match that is sending shockwaves through the tennis community right this very second. I am talking about the highly anticipated first-round clash at the WTA 1000 event in Rome, taking place on the iconic clay courts of the Foro Italico. Specifically, we are zooming in on the magnificent Nicola Pietrangeli Stadium, where the 20-year-old Filipino sensation, Alexandra Eala, is currently locking horns with the 28-year-old Polish veteran, Magdalena Fręch. And when I say locking horns, perhaps I should rephrase that, because what we are witnessing right now in the opening stages of this match is nothing short of a tactical masterclass and a devastating display of baseline dominance. Let us set the stage for why this specific encounter has drawn so many eyes and why the tennis world cannot look away. We are in the heart of a European clay court swing. The Italian Open is not just another tournament. It is a prestigious WTA 1000 event, a vital stepping stone, and the ultimate proving ground before the players head to Paris for the French Open. The stakes are incredibly high. The prize money pool is massive, sitting at over $8 million, and the ranking points available here can make or break a player's entire season. Entering this tournament, the narrative surrounding this first-round matchup was intensely debated among analysts, pundits, and fans alike. On paper, this was supposed to be a closely contested battle, a veritable coin toss between two athletes ranked neck and neck on the global ladder. You have Alexandra Eala coming in at world number 42, and Magdalena Fręch right behind her at world number 45. They had never played each other before on a professional tour, adding a thick layer of mystery and unpredictability to this encounter. But let me give you the live update that is currently breaking the internet and blowing up social media feeds everywhere. If you thought this was going to be a slow, cautious, feeling-out process between two evenly matched players, you were dead wrong. Alexandra Eala has come out of the gates absolutely breathing fire. As of this moment, the live scoreline in the first set is a staggering 5-0 in favor of the young Filipino star. That is right, a 5-love lead. She is on the verge of handing a dreaded bagel to a highly experienced top 50 opponent in the opening set of a WTA 1000 tournament. Eala has completely neutralized Fręch's game plan, executing her own strategy with terrifying precision and relentless aggression. This is not just a hot start. It is a statement of intent. It is a declaration that the 20-year-old is not just here to participate, but to conquer. For those who have been following Eala's journey, this explosive performance is both astonishing and somewhat expected. She has been having a breakthrough year, but the recent European clay swing had presented some harsh lessons. She suffered early exits in Linz, Stuttgart, and Madrid, falling to heavy hitters and top-tier champions like Jelena Ostapenko, Leylah Fernandez, and Elise Mertens. Some critics were wondering if the grueling nature of the red clay was going to stall her momentum. Instead, it seems those tough losses have only sharpened her competitive edge. She took those defeats, went back to the drawing board, and has unleashed all of her pent-up frustration and tactical adjustments onto Magdalena Fręch today. On the other side of the net, this live update paints a grim picture for the Polish veteran. Magdalena Fręch arrived in Rome carrying the heavy burden of a 5-match losing streak. She had not won a match since late February, struggling with form, confidence, and even a recent injury that forced her to withdraw from the Porsche Tennis Grand Prix in Stuttgart. Coming into Rome, her record on clay this year was 0-2. She desperately needed a favorable first-round matchup to find her rhythm, to feel the ball on the strings, and to grind out a confidence-boosting victory. Instead, she has run into a buzzsaw. The pressure is mounting. The crowd is buzzing, and the heat of the Italian sun is nothing compared to the heat coming off Alexandra Eala's racket. This is the drama, the intensity, and the sheer unpredictability of live professional tennis. Now that we have established the explosive reality of the current situation, we need to go much deeper. We need to unpack exactly how we got here, what the underlying numbers are telling us, and what this astonishing start means for the rest of the match and both players' careers. So, settle in, because we are about to embark on a comprehensive, deep-dive analysis of this extraordinary encounter. To truly appreciate the magnitude of what is happening right now on the courts of Rome, we have to meticulously dissect the anatomy of this matchup, starting with a young phenom who is currently rewriting the script. Alexandra Eala is not just a tennis player. She is a trailblazer. At just 20 years of age, holding the rank of world number 42, she is carrying the torch for Philippine tennis on the global stage. The pressure that comes with that kind of national expectation is immense, yet she seems to thrive under the weight of it. Her developmental pedigree is flawless, having honed her craft at the Rafael Nadal Academy, where the virtues of relentless hard work, tactical discipline, and unyielding mental toughness are ingrained into every student. We are seeing those exact Nadal-esque qualities manifest on the clay courts today. Eala is a left-handed player, which immediately gives her a distinct geometric advantage on the court. Her ability to open up angles, particularly with her forehand cross-court into the right-handed. Opponent's backhand is a foundational weapon, but it is not just about the spin and the angles. It is about the pace and the depth she is generating. In this match against Fręch, Eala has clearly decided to dictate the terms of engagement from the very first strike. Let us look at the granular details of her performance in this opening set. The statistics coming in from the live feed are absolutely staggering. Eala is winning an incredible 73% of her first serves. When she lands that first serve, she is winning 63% of those points. But the most revealing statistic, the number that completely exposes the dynamic of this 5-love blowout, is her performance on the second serve. In professional tennis, the second serve is the ultimate barometer of a player's confidence and vulnerability. Right now, Alexandra Eala has won 100% of her second serve points. Let me repeat that for emphasis, 100%. This means that even when she misses her first serve, Magdalena is entirely unable to capitalize or apply any pressure whatsoever. Eala is defending her second serve with absolute authority, likely by kicking it high to Fręch's backhand, pushing the Polish player deep behind the baseline, and immediately stepping inside the court to take the next ball early. Now, let us turn our analytical lens toward Magdalena. This is a player who has built a very respectable career on the foundation of consistency, grit, and defensive solidity. At 28 years old, she has a veteran savvy that usually allows her to weather the storms generated by younger, more aggressive opponents. She has won over 450 matches in her professional career. She knows how to construct points, how to suffer on the clay, and how to force her opponents into making unforced errors. But today, the game plan has completely collapsed. The live numbers for Fręch are a stark illustration of a player under siege. She is serving at a respectable 68% first serve percentage, but she is only winning 40% of those points. If you are winning less than half of the points when your first serve goes in, you're going to lose the tennis match, and you're going to lose it quickly. Furthermore, she is only winning 33% of her second serve points. This indicates that Eala is absolutely pouncing on Fręch's second serve. We knew coming into this match that the return of serve would be the crucial battleground. Pre-match data showed that Eala possessed superior return metrics, particularly against second serves. Eala wins over half of her opponent's second serve points on average throughout her career. Today, she is exploiting that specific vulnerability in Fręch's game to devastating effect. Every time Fręch tosses the ball up for a second delivery, you can almost sense the apprehension. Eala is stepping inside the baseline, taking the ball on the rise, and taking time away from the Polish player. This robs Fręch of the ability to set her feet and construct the defensive, grinding rally she prefers. Instead, Fręch is being rushed, forced into hitting short balls, which Eala is then ruthlessly putting away. The setting of this match also plays a critical role in the psychological and physical dynamics we are witnessing. The Nicola Pietrangeli Stadium in Rome is one of the most unique and atmospheric venues in all of tennis. It is sunken into ground, surrounded by neoclassical statues, and the fans are practically hanging over the court. The acoustics are intense. The red clay here is traditionally heavy, especially if the humidity is up, which makes it harder to hit through the court. It demands patience, heavy topspin, and exceptional footwork. Historically, Magdalena has a very solid 59% career win rate on clay. It is a surface that should theoretically favor her experience and her defensive skill set. But Eala is flipping that narrative completely upside down by taking the ball early and hitting with such aggressive intent. Eala is refusing to play a traditional clay court match. She is effectively playing hard court tennis on a dirt surface, hitting through the heavy conditions and refusing to let Fręch drag her into long, attritional rallies. It is also vital to analyze the mental state of both competitors coming into today. Tennis is as much a psychological battle as it is a physical one. Magdalena Fręch walked onto that court carrying the baggage of a 5-match losing streak. When you lose at many matches in a row, the court feels smaller, the net feels higher, and the margins for error seem razor-thin. Doubt creeps into your decision-making. You hesitate for a fraction of a second, and at the WTA 1000 level, that fraction of a second is the difference between a winner and an unforced error. As Eala broke her serve early in the first set, you could imagine the internal monologue for Fręch becoming increasingly negative. The injury she suffered in Stuttgart might still be lingering in her mind, if not physically, then certainly psychologically, making her wary of pushing her body to the absolute limit. Conversely, Alexandra Eala is playing with the fearlessness of youth, combined with the strategic clarity of a seasoned pro. Yes, she had a rough stretch in her last few tournaments, going 2-3 in her last 5 matches before Rome. But context is everything. Look at who she lost to. Jelena Ostapenko, a former French Open champion who can hit anyone off the court on any given day. Leylah Fernandez, a Grand Slam finalist with an incredibly tricky, redirecting style of play. Elise Mertens, a former Grand Slam semifinalist and one of the most tactically astute players on tour. Eala was not losing to players ranked below her. She was losing to the elite tier of the sport. Those matches, while resulting in defeats, serve as a high-altitude training camp. She absorbed the pace. She felt the intensity of top-tier competition, and she brought all of that accumulated experience to Rome. She is now taking that elite-level aggression and imposing upon a player who is currently struggling with her confidence. The betting markets and the odds makers completely misread the temperature of this match. Before the first ball was struck, the odds were relatively tight. Fręch was listed at even money, or plus 100 in some places, while Eala was a slight favorite at minus 130. Analysts pointed to the fact that they were only separated by 3 spots in the rankings, 42 versus 45. They pointed to Fręch's experience on European clay. But those who looked deeper at the underlying metrics, at Eala's superior breakpoint conversion rates, her edge in tight pressure situations, and her vastly superior return game, knew that Eala had a significant advantage. The live 5-love scoreline is vindication for those who believe the markets were undervaluing the young Filipino's potential. Eala is not just beating the spread. She is obliterating the money line and making a profound statement to the rest of the locker room. What we are analyzing here is not just a single set of tennis. It is a microcosm of a generational shift. We are watching a 20-year-old dictate play with a level of maturity that belies her age. Her shot selection has been impeccable. She is not just hitting hard for the sake of hitting hard. She is constructing points beautifully. She is using the heavy topspin forehand to push Fręch deep into the backhand corner. And then, the moment Fręch drops the ball short, Eala flattens out her shot and drives it down the line. It is a classic 1-2 punch, executed with the precision of a surgeon. Furthermore, Eala has already generated 5 breakpoint opportunities in this set alone, and she has converted 3 of them. That is a 60% conversion rate in a live match scenario, which is exceptionally high. It shows that when the pressure is on, when the game is in the balance, Eala is the one stepping up and taking the initiative, while Fręch is shrinking back. As we continue to monitor this live situation, the question becomes, how does Magdalena Fręch respond? When you're down 5-love, the first set is effectively gone. The tactical imperative for Fręch now is not necessarily to come back and win the set, but to get on the board, to hold her serve, and to establish some sort of rhythm that she can carry into the second set. She needs to dramatically increase her first serve percentage. She cannot allow Eala to continue feasting on weak second deliveries. Fręch might need to start taking more risks, perhaps going for bigger targets on her serve, or trying to inject more pace into her ground strokes to push Eala back. If she remains passive, if she continues to just roll the ball back into play and hope for Eala to make mistakes. This match will be over in less than an hour. For Eala, the challenge is maintaining this incredibly high level of intensity and focus. It is easy to play flawless tennis when the adrenaline is pumping and everything is clicking. But tennis is a game of momentum shifts. A 5-love lead can make a player complacent. The mind starts wandering ahead to the next set or even the next round. Eala needs to stay entirely present in the moment. She needs to treat the next game as if the score is 0-0. She must continue to move her feet, continue to commit to her aggressive swings, and ruthlessly close out the set. If she can secure the bagel, the psychological damage inflicted on Fręch will be immense, and it will set a tone for the remainder of the match that will be incredibly difficult for the Polish player to overcome. This performance by Eala is a masterclass in execution, strategy, and mental domination, and it is a privilege to break it down for all of you right now as we wrap up this extensive deep dive into the explosive live action at the 2026 Italian Open. It is impossible to overstate the significance of what Alexandra Eala is demonstrating on the courts of Rome today. We started this broadcast by saying the whole world is watching, and the first day fight was too hot, and the reality has completely lived up to the hype. The 5-love lead we analyze is not merely a number on a scoreboard. It is a profound declaration of arrival from a 20-year-old athlete who is rapidly transforming from a rising prospect into a legitimate force on the WTA Tour. If Eala continues this trajectory and closes out this match with the same ruthless efficiency she has shown in the opening stages, the implications for her season and her career are massive. A decisive victory over a seasoned top 50 player like Magdalena Fręch, particularly on a surface that demands so much physical and mental endurance, will serve as a colossal confidence booster. It will prove to Eala herself and to the rest of the tour that the harsh lessons learned against the likes of Ostapenko, Fernandez, and Mertens have been fully absorbed and weaponized. Advancing to the round of 64 here at the Foro Italico guarantees vital ranking points and substantial prize money. But more importantly, it secures invaluable court time and momentum heading into the grueling 2 weeks of the French Open at Roland Garros. If Eala can bring this level of aggressive first-strike tennis, combined with her devastating return game, to Paris, she is going to be a nightmare draw for any seeded player in the early rounds. Nobody wants to face a fearless, hard-hitting left-hander who has just found her ultimate rhythm on the dirt. For Magdalena Fręch, if she cannot find a way to halt this onslaught and turn the tide, this match will be a bitter pill to swallow. A 6th consecutive defeat will force her team to ask some very difficult questions about her scheduling, her physical recovery from her recent injury, and her overall tactical approach to the clay court season. Professional tennis is an unforgiving landscape. When you lose confidence, the slide down the rankings can be swift and brutal. Fręch has the experience and the fundamental skills to arrest this slide, but it is going to require a monumental effort will and perhaps a significant strategic reset before she heads to Paris. The beauty of the sport is that there is always another tournament, another match, and another opportunity to rebuild. But today, she is facing a storm she simply could not weather in the early going. This matchup perfectly encapsulates exactly why we love the sport of tennis and why we dedicate so much time to analyzing every detail. It is the drama of the one-on-one combat. It is the contrast of styles, the left-handed aggression against the right-handed defense. It is the collision of youthful exuberance and veteran pragmatism. And above all, it is the absolute unpredictability of live sports, where pre-match odds and historical statistics can be blown entirely out of the water in the span of just 20 minutes of breathtaking play. Alexandra Eala is not just representing herself. She is carrying the pride of the Philippines, inspiring a whole new generation of athletes in Southeast Asia and beyond, proving that with the right work ethic and tactical discipline, you can step onto the biggest stages in the world and dominate. Thank you so much for joining me for this comprehensive, deep dive breakdown of this phenomenal live update. If you found this level of in-depth analysis valuable, if you appreciate moving beyond just reading the box scores and truly exploring the mechanics, psychology, and tactical nuances of professional tennis, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like, as it greatly helps the channel grow and allows us to continue bringing you this type of exhaustive, documentary-style sports coverage. I want to hear from you in the comments section below. What are your thoughts on Alexandra Eala's incredible start? Do you think she has what it takes to make a deep run here in Rome and perhaps cause massive upsets at the French Open? And what does Magdalena Fręch need to change to salvage her clay court season? Drop your thoughts, your predictions, and your own tactical breakdowns in the comments, and I will be down there engaging with as many of you as I can. The Italian Open is just getting started. The clay is flying, the storylines are unfolding, and we will be right here covering all the biggest developments. Stay tuned, stay passionate about the sport, and I will see you in the next deep dive.